The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the bonus show. Major program today. Hey, you know what? I think I'm getting a call from one of those Indian scammers. Let's keep it recording because if that is, this would be interesting for the audience. Excuse me. Hello.
Speakerphone?
Yes, I'm speaking.
Hi, David. This is Kelly Williams. I'm calling because your factory warranty has expired. My supervisor would like to get on the line with you. Please hold.
You said your name is Kelly, sir? This is going to be a good one. Hello?
Yeah, I'm trying to go. Mr. Parkman?
Yes, speaking. Parkman here.
Hello?
Yes, this is Parkman. I'm here. Hello. Lost
hung
him.
up.
That's the worst. They have such horrible systems. By the way, Kelly, did anybody believe that guy's name was Kelly Williams? They have such horrible systems that I'm trying to keep on the phone. Everybody's trying to hang up on these people. I'm trying to stay on the phone with them, and we just can't communicate.
I think they catch wind of it, though, that you're just kind of messing with them.
Right away.
Most people aren't too excited to speak with these
The other
people.
day, I had someone on for 5 minutes, and I had him convinced that I was about to turn over control of all of my financial records to him. And at the end, I said, I know the scam. I'm not really doing this.
Right.
And then they angrily hung up on me.
Find a way to scam them instead, right?
That would be the way to do it, yeah. Say, I need you to Western Union me some money to be sure that you're legit. Okay, anyway, that could have been an exciting bonus show, but instead we'll just have to talk about Donald Trump's 2,000-calorie McDonald's meal. An article was written in the New York Times, and it claimed to expose some really weird habits from Donald Trump. This includes watching 4 to 8 hours of television per day. This includes an insane McDonald's order that I guess would be 2,000 calories, you said, Pat. It's like
more,
two Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish, and what else?
Chocolate shake.
And a chocolate shake.
Got to drink something.
Yeah, hey, listen, water is just not going to cut it at this point. Water is very, very boring. Those are some of the highlights. What else is there? 4 hours watching cable news, sometimes as much as 8.
12 Diet Cokes per day.
He drinks 12 diet sodas per day and a whole bunch of other stuff. And Trump is immediately furious, and he's denying it all. He actually tweeted another false story, this time in the failing New York Times, that I watch 4 to 8 hours of television a day. Wrong. Also, I seldom, if ever, watch CNN or MSNBC, both of which I consider fake news. I never watched Don Lemon, who I once called the dumbest man on television. He takes a New York Times article and turns it into a tweet about Don Lemon, which is amazing in some way.
I think Don Lemon was featured in the article.
In the article, yeah.
Because they pointed out that was one of his favorite CNN anchors to watch.
But I think to hate watch, I think was the idea.
Hate watch.
I believe the article. I think that it's been made abundantly clear that the New York Times and the Washington Post are doing really good investigative reporting around the Trump administration. They've been doing it for a year and a half to 2 years at this point, since Donald Trump's campaign gained traction and sort of accelerated and built momentum. The New York Times is not going to publish something like this without really verifying what they're being told. I believe it. Listen, 4 to 8 hours a day. Maybe some of those hours, the TV's on in the background and Trump is ostensibly meeting with people or something like that. I believe this.
I believe the 4 to 8 hours of television per day. I believe the 2,000-calorie McDonald's meal.
Yeah.
What I'm skeptical about, though, is the 12 Diet Cokes per day. How can you drink 12 of anything per day, right? That's just the one that I can't really get myself to believe.
I think that the guy probably is drinking a lot of Diet Cokes a day. And is it 12 or not? I'm honestly not sure. But I believe the article. Call me naive in believing the reporting of the New York Times, but they've been on the ball, and I think that this is an accurate article.
What's interesting, too, is Trump once tweeted that he has never seen a skinny person, drinking Diet Coke, which is actually kind of funny.
Right. Well, he's not exactly svelte himself, is he? And he's a Diet Coke guy. It's bad to drink. I would argue that the volume of liquid that is 12 Diet Cokes is bad to drink in general. Like even for a while, it was really popular to drink a ton of water, crazy amounts of water to stay hydrated. And since then, medical science has sort of backed off on that you don't need to be over drinking water if you're not losing a lot of water through, sweating or you're in a dry climate or whatever.
I tried that for a few days. I just had to pee a bunch. That was it.
Drinking extra water.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll talk more about that maybe off air, Pat. Thank you. One topic Pat wants to talk about on air because it is the vegan paradise. That's what I call avocados. I call avocados vegan paradise. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's
and you
what
can
I
eat
call
them
it.
even if you're not vegan too.
Yeah, they're not only for vegans. I eat tons of avocados. Apparently, I didn't know this, but I guess a lot of people are getting hurt removing the pit from avocados. I don't know how people are getting hurt because what I do when I take the avocado pit out is, let's say that my mouse is the avocado.
Yeah.
I put it down and I don't hold it with my hand. I just set it down on the counter and I take a knife and I sort of whack it.
Oh.
And then I twist and then the avocado pit releases. But apparently a lot of people put their hand on the avocado when they do it and people are cutting their hands.
Okay, so you start with your avocado.
Cut it in half.
Come right down with a knife and then just twist it so both sides fall off. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's not that you're slicing it in half and removing one side, right? So you've got half your avocado. Then you just have half an avocado with the pit, and then you just smack it with the knife. And then, I'm not using my thumb at any point in this.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Pat has any idea what I'm talking about, but I think the audience probably does. Anyway, people cut themselves with. I'll show you off the show what I do.
My method is completely different.
What do you do?
I hold it in my hand, and I take a knife and just cut the top half, and then I pull it apart. And then I take my thumb and I remove the pit afterwards.
Oh, yeah. You're probably smushing up some of the avocado, right?
Yeah, but it's a smushy food anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'll show you how to cleanly open up an avocado someday. Okay. Anyway, I guess because so many people are slicing their hands on avocados, which is surprising to me, genuinely, now there are seedless avocados being bred. Not being bred like BREAD. They are being grown.
Like avocado toast, right?
Right, for avocado toast, yeah. Seedless avocados are apparently only available during the current month of December, according to the Los Angeles Times. They're grown in Spain. They look sort of like baby cucumbers or really big pickles. And you can even eat the skin, but they're not really sold in the U.S. actively. They have been. My guess is that this would not really taste just like an avocado. I think it's. I mean, it's a genetically modified thing.
Well, I don't think it's GMO.
It's. I thought it was.
No, I don't think so. I think it's naturally occurring.
Naturally occurring, huh? That's interesting. What I read was that they are not naturally occurring. But in any case, I reject the idea that it is actually a Haas avocado. It's a different thing that doesn't have a seed in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a public health crisis, and we find a remedy to it, and you have to be skeptical about this?
That's the thing. I don't think it's actually a remedy. It's something that's available just in December that is a different thing than actual Haas avocados. Why can't we just solve the problem like intelligent people, where we figure out a way to de-seed an avocado without cutting our hands? Like, isn't that the path forward instead of finding some replacement fruit? I think avocado's a fruit, right?
Maybe, yeah, it's a fruit. I mean, a lot of people just don't know maybe the first time that it's going to have that pit, so they like go to hack it with a knife and they don't realize that they're hitting something hard.
Okay.
And I think that's where the trouble ensues. You know, I think bagels are the same way. A lot of people go to the hospital for cutting their hand when they're trying to cut a bagel too.
How do they cut the bagel in order to slice themselves?
Well, how do you cut a bagel?
I take the bagel and how can I demonstrate here? Let's imagine that this other mouse is the bagel. I take it and I put it flat on my cutting board and I put my hand flat on the top and I take a knife and I cut through it this way. So at no point could I actually cut my hand.
I hold it vertically and do the twist method.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. We're going to have like a knife skills session, I think, with Pat on the bonus show at some point. New scandal. Keurig scandal is deep in the rearview mirror at this point.
I don't know. I could be right on this one. I mean, I've never gone to the hospital for cutting my hand open.
If you go to legit bagel places, though, they cut the bagels in this way, where you put it flat and slice through it so you couldn't actually slice your hand. Safety first, kids. Safety first. Okay, Saudi Arabia continues to make major strides in progressivizing their society. They are going to have movie theaters. That's the whole story. They haven't had movie theaters for more than 35 years because inappropriate things can happen in movie theaters, and it's dark, so you might not know if every woman has her male guardian with her. Movie theaters are really complex places because they are both public but also dark. And so they've not been allowed. But now, in an effort to continue bringing Saudi Arabia to the 20th century, the 21st is a ways off for them, but in order to bring Saudi Arabia to the 20th century, they are going to allow movie theaters for the first time in 35 years.
That's interesting because I thought it had more to do with the content in the film.
No,
Like
it does.
maybe
I'm kidding
something
around.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it has more to do with if there's violence or
Yeah.
nudity on camera, but they can always just make sure that it's a sanitized film that they're
Of
showing
course.
that meets their religious standards.
Now it's crazy how progressive things are in Saudi Arabia. You could be a woman and drive yourself to the movie theater in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Do you understand how cutting edge that is? Now,
This
of
is
course,
2017.
you have to have a man that signs off on you having the driver's license, and you might even need to have a man signing off on you being out by yourself at the movie theater. But other than that, it is just super progressive in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, this
these
is
days.
progress, right? One step at a time.
I'm making fun of it, but we shouldn't laugh at progress because we want the progress to happen, right? So it's crazy for us in the West to imagine that these are considered signs of progressive change. But we should still encourage them because we
Right.
do think that this is a move in the right direction. It's just so crazy that this is where they are.
Yeah, I mean, I have this issue with, people coming to an evolution of their thoughts or, progressing in some way.
You have an
Because
issue with it.
Well, no. The thing is, you have a feeling that you want to make fun of them or in some
Oh,
way
right, yeah, I
because
see.
of how they were before.
Yeah.
And you probably shouldn't do that because that allows people to change their mind and
I
know
agree.
that they're not going to be made fun of for
I
their
agree.
past opinions.
We're among friends here on the bonus show, but there's no doubt that this should be applauded and encouraged
Yeah.
and more stuff too.
I'm not suggesting that the royalty in Saudi Arabia watches the bonus show, but
No, by
they
no
could
means.
be members. You never
We
know.
do have members who live in Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
And they write in sometimes, and usually they tell me it's way worse than even we think. But we do have some viewers in Saudi Arabia.
Maybe
and,
the David Pakman show can be in one of those movie theaters. Everyone can watch.
Well, I don't know that usually you have news shows at the movies, but
Well,
it's a possibility. I'd be willing, believe me, anything I can do to try to get Saudi Arabia to continue moving to the left, I am willing to do. Get your calendars. Oh, I showed this. I finally have a physical calendar here, and it's really, really good. And the art in it from Corey Topkis and Dan Burke and Anthony Petramala, it's all really, really good. Maybe I'll show a different page than the one I showed on the regular show. There is one that involves robots, a cartoon that involves robots. Have I told you the story about July?
yes.
Or I'm sorry,
And
February.
You've told the bonus show.
I've told them. Okay, then I
story.
won't. I don't want to be like that guy, the old man who tells the same story over and over again. I won't tell it again. Calendars. DavidPakman.com/calendar18. If you are a member, you can use the coupon code MEMBERCALENDAR18 to get a discount.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.